Hello again guys, and welcome to a quick update video on the item sorting system that I presented to you last time, guys. So this is the multi-item sorter, which allows you to have multiple different items in the same chest, going to the same chest. So in my last video I presented you guys this, but as some of you already know, there has been a bunch of updates that I made to the system because there were a few problems that I needed to fix, and also quite a few optimizations and requests that I decided to include with the system. So let's take a look at the new system. Look how glorious this is, guys. Super amazing, huh? So this is the new update that some of you guys already know because you have been exchanging comments with me in the video, because I asked for feedback and I'm getting some really nice feedback from you guys, so thank you very much for that. Thanks to you, I was able to fix some issues with the system, and now I have this new one. And if you have been following me on Twitter, you also know that there is yet a newer version of the system that's only one wide per slice. I have been working on this for the past entire week, and I think you guys are gonna love it. So watch the entire video, guys. You don't want to miss what I want to tell you about the new system in the end of this video. But first of all, I want to address this one because some people have already built this in survival, and I want to give these people some support. So this is the map you're going to download. This map has been available to you guys for some time, and I want to discuss the changes that I made to the system. So the first update I made is called DS for double speed. And then this is DS2 because I had to fix a bunch of problems. Turns out that increasing the speed of the system is very, very complicated, guys. So the first thing you guys ask, so this is the input now. So it makes available to you now a ender chest, the input chest, and the chest that takes care of unstackable items. So if I throw in like a shulker box by mistake, I get a sound warning, and I get the item back in here. And if I throw other items in there like this, yeah, I'll get all the items back in here. So no unstackable items. I don't know why you guys wanted to have unstackable items in here. I assume that most of you guys know that unstackable items are not sortable. At least most of them are not. Of course, we can make exceptions for water buckets and a lot of items, but not all of them are really sortable. So I assumed nobody would do that, but actually you did that. You included unstackable items in there, and it broke. So no armor, guys. No buckets. No filled buckets or anything like that. So it's pretty much the same. So the sorting area is the same, but this blue circuit changed. I made a few changes here at the back. The most important one is here, which is kind of a nerf. And finally, a bunch of changes to the red circuit, which is the most complicated one. The first thing I fixed here was the behavior that allows you to have items that stack up to 16 in the same chest as items that don't stack to 16. Like, for instance, you want to have the banners from the end or the ender pearls in the same chest as the other items. And I told you guys that this would work, but actually it doesn't work. And the reason why I said that is because I tested it using the last chest, and of course it would work with the last chest because it doesn't have a sorter. So yeah, I fixed that. I thought this would be very difficult, but what the system actually does now is it always gets a full minecart. And it does that by using a timer. The timer will precisely give this guy 64 or 63 items, can't remember now. I have been working so much on these things. And then if the minecart is full with 64 items, then this hopper is going to steal one item and put it back in the storage, so that the minecart always has less than one stack. So it's able to steal items from the sorters, and then it's going to actually sort the items. And if it's 16, it works the same. So yeah, so that got fixed really easy. The next thing is the double unloading thing. So I found a way to make minecarts unload to 2 hoppers rather than 1. So this makes everything so much faster, guys. It looks like, hey, it's just a factor of 2, but you have no idea, guys. By a factor of 2, the double speed is so fast for this system that sometimes the minecart comes back in here and there's nothing to do because the system has still to transport items from down there all the way up to here. By the way, don't mind this white circuit. It's just a this white circuit is just a progress bar. Let me put some items in so you guys can have some perspective on what we're trying to do here. Let's put all the wood. So yeah, put all the items in. Yeah, I also forgot. Yeah, there's a small change here with this hopper as well. So this hopper has some items in. So as you can see, the items are coming in, and this hopper is making the minecart is stalling the minecart basically. So when the minecart leaves, it has a few items. I configured it to have about half a stack of items inside it. So if you want the minecart to leave with an entire stack of items, just place more items inside this hopper. I don't know exactly how many because 20 will map to half a stack, about half a stack. So maybe 40 items will do a full stack. I don't know. And if you want the minecart to go as soon as items start flowing in your system, because of course you don't need to have this item elevator and things. You could have your input be completely different, so you can basically have just one item. So you need to have at least one item inside this pair of hoppers so that your system can delay the start or start immediately. All right, so currently the minecart is unloading to a single hopper, but we can't change that. But it's a dangerous change because it made the system unstable to the point that sometimes it will even break the item sorter. So let's take a look here. So yeah, it will probably take one stack here. I'll show you guys the difference by turning the double speed unloading system on. So now you'll see the difference. So come on, minecart, is it loaded? Yeah, it loads fast. All right, so now look at this. Look how fast it unloads. It's really fast, guys. And it can do this for the entire thing, but it sometimes breaks the sorters, and it's something that's very hard to fix. This is normal speed now, so yeah, normal speed is really slow compared to double speed. Now that I have tasted that, but yeah, this line basically what it does is it disables the second hopper, and by adding the second hopper, the double speeds it has to buffer some items in here because it cannot put the items inside the chest at double speed as well. I would have to use two non-stackable item sorters in here instead of just one. And it adds a lot of complications, especially if you want to keep your system compact, as I want to do, to make it viable in survival. So for now, double speed is a option that you can turn on and off. If you turn it on, of course, it's going to be faster, but it's going to be unstable. I left you guys a warning in here, so it might break your sorters, unfortunately. But the reason why I left it like that is because some of you guys are redstone geniuses, so I believe that you can make use of this and make some sort of smart system, because in some situations it's convenient that you have the double stacking thing. For instance, I know that if the item is already sorted and it's unloading currently, if you know that the minecart is unloading, it's fine to turn this on and then turn it off when you have to sort. When you have to go under the chests, you should have double speed turned off, and when you are unloading, you should have it turned on. So yeah, there's a lot more to do in this system, and this is very fast, especially considering that when it finds an item, it starts unloading immediately, and then it goes back. It doesn't go all the way to the end of this thing to try and find an item. So this is very efficient as well. So I'll keep working on the system to make it as fast as I possibly can. Some people also suggested that I use it minecart hoppers inside those blocks to make unloading even faster. But the thing is, if you have a big system, you're going to have many entities in here, and minecart hoppers can cause lag, which is the reason why I have the minimum amount of those. In this system, if you use them, if you use it, you will see that despite its size, it doesn't cause a lot of lag. It doesn't cause lag at all in my experiments. I don't know. And also, I changed this thing because with double speed, what happens is, remember that the minecart always needs those unstackable items to be there. So when it unloads everything, including the non-stackable items. And the non-stackable items go through this hopper line down here and return to the chest. But because double speed is so fast, sometimes it will run out of unstackable items like you see here. So now the chest, the entire system sees the stackable item chest, so it knows when it's getting empty, and if it's getting empty, it basically stops the system. It stops the minecart for a little while until the sorters are done and they return the unstackable items in here so that the minecart can go again. And the reason why we can't solve this problem by filling this up with tons of unstackable items in here is because as I told you guys, to do the double the double speed unloading, we need this chest, and this chest works as a buffer that can get filled, especially with the unstackable items. I don't know why I did that. Hopefully, I didn't break anything. If this gets filled, then this gets filled, then this. Eventually, this will try to place a unstackable item in here, and this will also break the sorters. So this has been calibrated to work fine. And by the way, if you have the storage turned off, you don't ever have to worry about that because unloading at normal speed doesn't break anything. So let me see if I have any other changes that I need to mention here. All right. The thing with rails is rail placement can be a pain, but if it's static, it is a pain. But this is dynamic, right? We need to change the directions of the rails in order to sort things. And this system will not work in every direction because rails behave differently depending on the direction they are. When they're powered, they might connect either to this side or to the other side. So these are alternative systems that you can use to replace this system. So basically, you're replacing this line with the furnaces and comparators that power the rails through those blocks in here. Oh, by the way, it was sorting for this. All right, so instead of the furnaces in this system, I'm using repeaters. You can see that by default, those are all at 0, so those are all unpowered, right? And if you use the repeaters instead, then your rails are going to be powered by default. Yeah, it needs to be like that because of the delay. If you add any more delay to this, then your minecart's not going to turn when it needs to, right? And if in any other direction this doesn't work for you or this doesn't work for you, there is still this alternative, which keeps everything unpowered like the first system, but it uses only torches and redstone dust, which is a lot cheaper than using the furnaces and comparators. So this is and it adds one layer, so it's a little bit less compact, but it compensates this by being a lot cheaper. And this is the new system, guys. Yeah, so I'm just calling this one the category sorter or the categorizer. And the first change is noticeable, yeah, because everything is one wide now, so you can have different categories per row in here. And of course, you can expand this vertically. So only 3 chests in here, but you could have 5, 6, 7, as many as you want here, really. And yeah, in here I have a total of 36 categories, guys. So this is huge, guys. And considering that every different category can take care of up to 50 different items, this is a crazy amount of space that you save by having a multi-item sorter, especially if you understand the different categories that we're trying to do here. I don't know if I will show this in this video because I want this video to be longer than it already is, but I definitely will show you guys the different categories that I have in here and the reasons why they are the way they are. And I think you guys are gonna like it. And yeah, 36 categories, including this one. That is for uncategorized things, so things that the system does not account for go in there. And a free category in here, meaning you can allocate your entire system to be in any way you want. This is the same for DS2, the system I just showed you before. But basically this category is empty and I can build the system and decide later what I want the item sorters to do. So this is nice to have as well. This is a classic item sorter. It was designed by Impulse SV a long time ago, and it is pretty much amazing with its simplicity, being silent, and having overflow protection. As amazing as it is, it can only store one category per slice. And because I always like to give you guys some visual perspective on things, when you have a system like the one I'm trying to show you guys that can store up to 50 different items per slice, if you use a traditional system like this is how big it would be for one single slice. And to give you one final visual perspective on how useful a multi-item sorting system can be, a system like this with 36 categories, if done with impulses system, would be this size. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the redstone in all its glory. As you can see, the sorters themselves are almost the same size as a regular sorter, but instead they have the different categories inside them. So you can see this one will sort for all variations of birch, and this one for jungle does the same thing. You know, and this system was actually based on a map sent to me by a viewer. I don't know if I can pronounce the name, but his name is Elmer Lingestal. Sorry, guys, I don't speak all the languages, so that you will be surprised by that, but I don't. And thank you very much, Elmer, for sending this idea to me, and I will explain how this works now by doing an example. So, by the way, yeah, the system is just a repeatable pattern, and this is the control unit. Ignore the red circuit. The red circuit is just me trying to get this minecart chest from down here all the way up to here in a one wide way. So I used my bump fader. So the red doesn't count. The sorting system itself is just this part here, which is kind of complex for what it does, and everything else, the repeatable pattern. So let's put a few items to sort. So come on. So here I have, so all of the ice items should fall in one chest. You can see that we have items stackable up to 16 as well. Banners and dice all go to the same chest, and we have a chest for flowers and for redstone components as well. We can mix those, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I have been testing this quite a lot. And yeah, my cart goes in here, starts unloading to 2 hoppers at the same time using the double unloading system. And the first time the minecart doesn't go quite full because I needed to fire the system quicker, because if you have only one item to sort in this system, it will kind of ignore it, so you have to warn it, hey, there isn't one item in there. But once this chest starts filling up, then this problem will not happen anymore. So yeah, the minecart is unloading now, and it's going back. And now, as you can see, it's already set up with all the unstackable items, which, by the way, we don't need a chest full of those now. This is the chest where it gets the unstackable items, and yeah, it's just, it takes it from itself, so no extras. Okay, so let me explain how the system works. Let me see what it's going to be unloading. So 19 of those. All right, it's going to unload everything. So everything's going to the right slot right now, which is this one, by the way. And it's going to send the unstackable items to that chest. I wasn't quick enough, but this time, okay, so it's going to pick up 48 items this time. Is it finished unloading? Yeah, I guess it's because the first item that was available was there. But basically, it's going to try and steal one item from these. And when it finds it, look at the ice chest. This comparator turns off, which enables this hopper. So when the minecart starts unloading, it goes directly into the hopper that is unloading. And there are a few visual effects that we can follow from here. So you can see where it's unloading. It's where the lamp is turned off. So you can see that it's working correctly here. All right, so let me show you this chest here quickly. So this is what happens to this chest. Now the minecart is going to pick up all the items, and this dummy item is going to return here. I did this to make sure that the system is never ever going to give more than one item to this hopper in here. So yeah, what I did before was I had a chest full of unstackable items, and then a hopper here would steal one of the unstackable items and give it back to the storage. And then the minecart would be set up like we need, with 4 unstackable items plus the item that we are trying to sort for. By the way, the ink sacs are finding their way here. It's here, yeah. Oh, it's not ink sacs, it's black dye now, right? Black dye. Okay, so when it stops sorting, see this? I will explain why this happens and how interesting this is. So the animations are pretty cool as well, and they have a purpose. All right, so it sets up the minecart like this. And by having one item, one dummy item with the item sorter in here, I'm making sure that this will never suck more than one item, because this can happen, especially on servers. I'm trying to make this work nicely on servers as well. So even on laggy conditions. So finally, after this unload, I will finally explain to you guys how everything works. Some of you guys probably have already figured it out. So let me try to maybe speed up the system by twice as much. Okay, so once again, it loads, then it goes and it tries to steal one item from these chests. Once it does that, it tries to place the item back. And once it places the item back, a pulse will happen here, and this pulse will not only return the item back to the sorter, so restoring the sorter, because remember, we are stealing items from the sorter. So it restores the sorter, and then it unlocks the hopper. And another important thing that the system also has that makes it expandable to any size you want, you see with these hoppers. So now you see that all of those are activated. And what this does is this line is going to lock the minecart in here. So even after it's finished unloading, let's see that it's going to be very fast. So it's finished unloading. Yeah, it's that with the tick rate super fast. It's hard to see, but say we have an item that needs to go all the way around like this. The problem is, once the minecart is done, there is a lot of items inside the minecart, the hopper chains still. So this is kind of dangerous because the minecart can find an item quickly and start sorting again. And then it's going to change the sorter and all the items that are inside the chain can fall in the wrong place. Which is why if the item has to go a long way, this reverse comparator line will hold the minecart in place and tell the minecart basically, hey, wait a little bit until the hopper chains are clear so that you can grab another item from the chest and do your thing. All right, so next time it's going to get a little 63 items, I guess, because we have a full stack and the minecart's not here anymore. It's not unloading anymore, so everything should be stable now. So the minecart's coming back here. So see, it's going to pick up only 63 items. So it will always pick up 63 items. If it picks 64, also no problem because this system takes care of that. As you guys will see, pretty much a bunch of items are already in place. This is sorting now, so the snowballs are fine. Let's see, the redstone blocks things are still needs to be done. So let's do the tick rate a little bit faster this time. I didn't want to make a long video, but yeah, I have so much information to give you guys that I can't help it. Let's watch the system in super speed for a little while. So this system is definitely slower than my original system because of course this has to go through all the sorters and then go back through all the sorters, and then once it's back it needs to send the item to its corresponding slot, while my other system goes to the sorter and once it finds it, it starts unloading immediately and goes back from the point it was. So if you have items that you need to sort, the most frequently items that go to your system should be next to the input, so that your minecart always stays in this region in general. And the least ones go to the end. But with this system doesn't make a really much of a difference. Like it goes all the way through all the sorters all the time. And unloads to where it needs to be, so it can be shorter or not. So there is a little bit of an advantage, but not too much. On the other hand, my other system also has to go a larger distance because it's too wide per slice, right? So it walks twice the distance. I think this is stable. I have a lot of experience with multi-item sorting systems now, and I think this will work with the new tests that I have applied. But if you have any problems with this, do once again give me feedback. The feedback that you guys gave me made it possible to sort out all the problems from the previous systems. I will keep working on the super fast system, and this system I consider this basically done. The map for this will be available in the video description. There's a little surprise in here for your needs, and there will be a block by block tutorial for this system as well as for the other system in my next videos. Also again, please don't forget to give me some feedback, leave a like. It was a lot of work, guys. I'm really trying hard to make this this work, this because I think this is amazing. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you very much, guys. I'm very happy to have you here on my channel watching my videos, and see you soon. Goodbye.